Hey, this is Ashley Honeycutt, and this is my personalized approach to classroom management and discipline. Theory of discipline. My personal theory of discipline is built on the idea that behaviors must be taught, practiced, and reinforced over time, not just punished. This idea is supported by C.M. Charles and Karen Cole, who emphasizes that students must be explicitly taught how to behave appropriately, and then they must be given ample opportunities to practice that behavior within your class. I also believe that having a structured classroom with clear rules and procedures is essential. Carolyn Evertson and Edmund Emer highlight that when expectations and routines are clearly taught, students are less likely to misbehave and more able to focus on their learning. Another key part of my discipline model is building strong relationships and creating a sense of belonging. Drakers believe that students are motivated by a need to belong, and when they feel connected and valued, they are more likely to behave responsibly. The Wongs stress the importance of keeping students engaged and maximizing their time on task. When lessons are engaging and well managed, there is less opportunity for misbehavior to occur. In addition, my approach is influenced by Maslow and Michelle Borba, who emphasizes the importance of meeting students' needs and teaching respect, empathy, and responsibility. Professional and ethical demeanor. In my classroom, I will establish clear rules and procedures that are explicitly taught and consistently reinforced. Evertson and Emmer suggest that when expectations are clearly defined, modeled, and practiced, students are more likely to be successful and remain engaged in their learning. I will also create a safe and inclusive environment where all of my students feel valued and supported. Maslow states when students' basic needs for safety and belonging are met, they are more likely to demonstrate positive behavior and participate in their learning. Building trust with students is essential. So I will practice empathetic listening and strive to understand their perspectives. Convey demonstrates that when students feel heard and understood, they are more likely to trust their teacher and respond positively in the classroom. In addition, I will foster with families and colleagues by modeling empathy, active listening, and collaboration. Strong communication and professional relationships are key to creating a supportive learning community and ensuring student success. Finally, I will support students in developing responsibility and self discipline by teaching appropriate behaviors and guiding them to make positive choices. According to Morris, discipline should be viewed as a teaching process where students learn, practice, and grow over time. Promoting the rules to support student behavior. First rule, be respectful to everyone and everything. We should treat others the way we want to be treated. When we are respectful, we build a classroom where everyone feels like they belong and are important. Researchers like Drakers and Forney remind us that respect and belonging help students feel connected and behave positively. Rule number two, follow directions the first time given. When we follow directions right away, it helps our classroom run smoothly and gives us more time to learn. The Cantors and Morris teach us that clear expectations and following directions help us be successful and responsible learners. Third, stay on task and try your best. Our job is to teach, their job is to stay focused and do their best work. The Wongs and Fred Jones explain that when we stay on task, we have more time for learning and less time for problems. Rule number four, keep hands, feet, and objects to yourself. This rule helps keeps everyone in my classroom safe. Maslow reminds us that when we learn best when we feel safe and secure, and our classroom runs rules help create a safe environment. And rule number five, take responsibility for your action and choices. We all make choices and we all learn from them. Theorists like and Barbo teach us that taking responsibility helps us grow, make better choices, and become strong, independent learners. Proactively preventing or reducing inappropriate behavior. First, I will focus on teaching and practicing clear rules and procedures from the very beginning. Students are not born knowing how to behave in a classroom. So I will model, practice, and reinforce expectations daily. This connects to Everson and Emmer's idea that procedures reduce confusion, and also it shows Wong's belief that effective teachers spend time teaching routines so students can be successful. Next, I will make sure my students are actively engaged at all times. When there is little downtime and smooth transition between activities, students stay focused and there's less opportunity for misbehavior. Fred Jones says focusing on maximizing time on task will prevent disruptions in your class. I also will work hard to build strong relationships and create a sense of belonging. According to Maslow, students feel safe and valued before they can learn, and Drakers emphasizes that students behave better when they feel like they belong. Another strategy I will use is positive reinforcement to encourage expected behaviors. I intentionally will notice and appraise appropriate behaviors so students are more likely to repeat them. This comes from Skinner's theory that behavior is shaped by reinforcement. And finally, I will use calm, respectful, and empathetic communications with all of my students. We learn that how we speak to students matter. And Convey reminds us that to understand students' perspectives, we need to be using I messages and listening to students. I build trust, and this will reduce defensiveness, which helps prevent behavior issues before they start. Communicating discipline expectations to students, administrators, and families. When communicating discipline expectations, I believe it's important to start strong from the very beginning of the school year. As Everson and Emmer explain, students need rules and procedures that are clearly taught and modeled and practiced so they understand exactly what is expected of them. In addition to students, communications with families are just as important. Through regular newsletters, emails, and conferences, I will ensure my caregivers understand classroom expectations and procedures. This connects to the idea of in loco parentis, where teachers take on a shared responsibility with families to guide students' behavior. It is also essential to communicate and collaborate with administrators and colleagues. According to Cantor and Cantor, consistent expectations across the school help eliminate confusion and ensure that all students are held to the same standards. I also believe discipline should be communicated through collaboration, not just control. Spencer Kagan's win-win discipline emphasizes working with students and stakeholders to solve behavior problems. When students feel heard and involved in the process, they are more likely to take ownership of their behavior and make responsible choices. Finally, communication is not always verbal. Fred Jones reminds us that teachers communicate expectations through their presence, body language, and consistency. Energizing your classroom. To create an energetic classroom and lively classroom, I believe it starts with how lessons are planned and delivered. According to Jacob Coonan, effective teachers keep lessons moving with smooth transitions and strong pacing. When there is little downtime and students are consistently engaged, there are fewer opportunities for off task behaviors. Another key factor in maintaining energy is using proactive strategies like PBIS. When teachers explicitly teach, model, and reinforce positive behaviors, students know exactly what is expected of them. I also believe that relationships play a huge role in classroom energy. As highlighted in the Power of a Teacher video, when students feel that their teacher believes in them and truly cares, they are more motivated to participate and try their best. In addition, I want my students to be thinkers, not just followers. Marvin Marshall's approach focuses on helping students reflect on their behavior and make responsible choices. When students are thinking through their actions rather than simply reacting to rewards or consequences, they take more ownership, which leads to deeper engagement and a more energized environment. And finally, I will focus on creating meaningful and interactive lessons. According to Charles, when students see value in what they are learning and feel actively involved, they are naturally more engaged. A classroom becomes energized when students are not just passively listening, but actively participating and connecting to their content. And these are my references. Thank you.